British singer-songwriter Anne-Marie is set to release her second album next month. It's called Therapy, and I got to speak to Anne-Marie, and she told me how the pandemic affected her songwriting process and how music helped her heal and get back on her feet.
It's been a very, very weird year and a half since the pandemic started. I just wasn't used to being still because I was just always on tour, always in another place. And then it was all of a sudden, no, you can't do that. You can't do live shows. You can't do anything. So it was really hard and I struggled so much. But I think in the end, I got so low that I was like, the only way is up again because I don't want to go any lower than this. And I said to myself, I'm going to start doing therapy. I'm going to start talking to people about how I feel and let all of that out. And I'm going to start growing vegetables and I'm going to start doing jigsaw puzzles and knitting and watch TV. And I was just doing all of these things that I hadn't done in so long because I'd been doing music. And I was like, okay, this is cool. And then during that time, I felt like it was the right moment to just start writing music again. And I was doing it from my living room. So all of the songs you'll hear on the album, the Therapy album, are going to be recorded from my living room, which is so weird. But yeah, it happened. And it was obviously to do with me actually getting therapy in the first place that it spurred on that title, but also music has brought that to me as well, because without music, I wouldn't be here, obviously. So, yeah, it's all a bit of a mixture of emotions in the album and explaining how I feel and what I've learned about myself. And even like the new song with Niall, the first line is, I'll be honest, I'm all right with me. And I've never, ever said that before. I've never been okay with me. I've never been okay on my own. I've always struggled with anxiety and all of this stuff. And since being faced with it in the pandemic and forced to be on my own and deal with it, I've finally become okay with being on my own and who I am.
I mean, sticking to that topic, I would think that therapy would actually be quite timely because, I mean, not only yourself, as you say, but a lot of people are actually going through, you know, a lot of mental issues. And you mentioned your song with Niall, our song. Aside from that, I mean, would you have, okay, first up, your biggest advice, like people out there going through what I'm doing, this is what I would advise you to do. And not only that, but maybe through your album, your upcoming album, is there like a particular lyric that you can say, guys, listen to this song? I mean, it's really helped me, you know, just pick me up when I'm really down.
Yeah. So the first thing I've realized is that distraction isn't great because I always used to try and distract myself from what was going on in here. And all it did was just build and build and build, and then it just exploded. So I'd say if you even have an inkling of something going on in here, then do something about it. Speak to someone, write it down on a piece of paper, write a song. I mean, anyone can write a song, anyone can write a poem, anyone can write down a passage of writing. I think my favorite lyric that describes that, there's one lyric in one of the songs that says, to win sometimes you lose. And I think that in relation to anything in life, I think to be able to love yourself, things need to change, and that's not a bad thing. And I feel like a lot of my life I've put people first, and that is a brilliant thing to do because, you know, you have to care for people, but you can't forget about yourself.
Well, I mean, your music so far, your album Therapy, I mean, it's still coming out, but the songs that you have released have already hit the charts. I mean, for one, you do have your Don't Play, you know, which was just released in January. Can you believe, with a pandemic and everything, it is absolutely unbelievable, being probably, as you said, the biggest song of 2021 by far by a British female artist. Has that even sunk in with you? I mean, with all the issues you've been going through, you just pop out a song just like that, and all of a sudden it hits pop charts. I mean, what is it? What magic do you actually possess to make all of these happen?
I don't know. It's been a really fun time actually to write new music, because obviously we haven't been on tour. So the only thing we could do was write music. And normally that's like second after touring and promo and all this stuff. So it was actually nice to just concentrate on what we're giving people and what we're actually performing. But it felt nice to just really concentrate on that. And I think the only thing we can do really is release songs now. So it just felt right. And I'd release that one, I released Way Too Long, release our song, and then I'll release more, and then the album. And it just seems to be all we can do right now.
Your album Therapy, I love all the collabs that you've been doing, and of course with Ed Sheeran and Doja Cat, and all of these other things that you've been, and of course Nile, Our Song, such a romantic song.
Yeah.
How was it? I mean, you have your own style of writing, your own style, right? And then you do your collab with all of these people that also have their own style. I mean, was it easy? Did you have to clash? Did you have to give up a little bit of your style and say, okay, no, I got to do something a little different this time?
I think that's what I love so much about collaborations, is that it is two completely different styles mashed into one. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give a little bit away. It's just making it blend. And with the Nile song, he's definitely more acoustic and I'm more electronic. So we were trying to get both of those elements in. And it's funny, when you listen to the song, it's almost like the whole first half of the song is his music, and then the second half of the song is the music that I would create, and it's like two smacked bang in the middle. But I really love that about collaborating. It's just that you actually can just let loose a little bit, and that doesn't mean you don't do something that's like completely you, because it is completely you. You just blend it a little bit with someone else, and I just love collaborating.
Before I let you go, what's the future like for you?
I have a UK and Ireland tour in 2022, which we've put in place. We're going to see if it happens. If it happens and things start opening up again, then we have the rest of Europe, Asia, everywhere to go. So touring is my favorite thing.
Thank you so much for sharing your life and being so open with everybody, and everybody here in the Philippines. Wow, they just love you. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.